Hi, let's have a look at Ellipsis Finance. The way I found out about the project is through Curve Finance. So I'm a pretty big fan of Curve Finance. It's a decentralized exchange where you can swap all kinds of tokens. Curve specializes on stablecoins, but you can also swap, for example, Bitcoin or wrapped Bitcoin to stablecoins, and the same goes for Ethereum. And the nice thing about Curve is that the fees, they are very, very low. And that's same for Ellipsis Finance. So you can potentially save quite a lot of money by using those kind of alternative platforms, by not going simply through PancakeSwap, but by making the extra effort to go through Curve, or for the Binance Smart Chain here, through Ellipsis Finance. So that's the advantage for swapping. You save quite a lot of money over the long term. The other advantage is it's a very, very safe platform. So Curve has been around for a long, long time. It has been audited by 3 different parties. Ellipsis has been audited by 2 parties. And Ellipsis is a direct fork of Curve Finance. So you can actually find a link to Ellipsis in the Curve documentation. So Curve is deployed on all kinds of different blockchains, right? Ethereum is the first, obviously, with the newest features. But then you've also got Phantom, Avalanche, Arbitrum, Harmony. Curve runs on all of those blockchains, but it doesn't run on the Binance Smart Chain. Instead, on the Binance Smart Chain, we've got Ellipsis Finance. And so when you swap over here, what's very nice about this is when you execute such a swap here, your fees, they are only 0.04%, which is very different to PancakeSwap, for example. In PancakeSwap, you pay 0.25%. So especially when you swap something within PancakeSwap where your route might go through a stablecoin, right? Where you maybe have something like BNB to USDC to USDT to whatever your destination is. If you've got a route that goes through 2 stablecoins, then you might consider, instead of doing this on PancakeSwap, to save some money and do this on Ellipsis Finance. And the other strong use case for such a Curve fork is obviously getting reward, getting return on your stablecoin. So we can look over here. When we deposit in, for example, such a liquidity pool over here, we can get an annual percentage yield of 7.2%. This doesn't look huge, but it is comparatively safe. That's the beauty of it. As long as the peg of none of those stable coins here breaks. So let's click into this. As long as the $1 peg of BUSD, USDC, and BUSDT, as long as this stays intact, you should be good, because the smart contracts of Ellipsis Finance, they seem to be comparatively safe. Now, I'm also just starting out with this, so I'm not an expert on the platform, but what I found interesting, and that's maybe something, if you know more about this, please let us know in the comment section. That's something I was very intrigued about. So this return over here, I find very enticing. So we've got a liquidity pool here of BNB versus something called BNBL. And the return, of course, is phenomenal, right? We don't get much on the base. We do get a bit of EPS tokens, so that's Ellipsis Finance tokens. These tokens, they don't perform very well versus other cryptocurrencies. So you might consider potentially to sell them off once you receive them. But you also get quite a bit of liquor tokens, which you can then obviously also afterwards sell. And all there is in this pool is BNB and this new BNBL. Why do I say new? Because I was looking up what kind of token this actually is. I've never heard of this before. And so when you go over here, you can see the token contract. You can search for that. And then you find via Google a page called Coin Alpha, which shows the address and which also states the launch date here on the 17th of January with a market cap of 0. So this is a bit strange, right? The date added was on the 14th of December. It's a BEP20 token, right, on the Binance Smart Chain. It launches today. The APY seems to be massive. And it's one of the very few liquidity pools that Ellipsis actually has, right? Ellipsis has only 11 liquidity pools. That's it. That's all of the platform here. And so if you know what this exactly is, if it makes sense to get any engagement here, the volume is also very, very low, right? But if this is true here, maybe this is just something that's starting. Please let us know. Please post this in the comments. Now, do I personally deposit my money here on Ellipsis? I personally don't, because for me personally, I don't think the APYs here are attractive enough, to be honest. Because when you compare similar kind of returns on Curve Finance, you can see pure stablecoin pools with like 15 or sometimes 20% return. The pool on Harmony currently pays out 30% in Harmony 1 tokens, right? So that seems to be way more attractive than these kind of returns, and they don't seem to be that much more risky, right? It's still the Curve platform. And all you need to do in order to get those kinds of returns is to simply bridge over your money from the Binance Smart Chain to Harmony 1, right? Let's look at this, harmony.curve.fi. So this is actually the platform that had been forked. That's the kind of returns you can get here. 28.5% paid out in 1 tokens and then 1.6% on the pool, which does include some Bitcoin and wrapped Ethereum. So you do have still a bit of crypto exposure over here. Around 40% of your money is still in Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you want to be completely risk off, you go here with the 3 pool, which pays out around 11% in total, right? You just have to add up all those numbers. So 11% is still way better than those 7% that you currently can get here on Ellipsis. So that's my current take on this. If you are bound to the Binance Smart Chain and you don't want to bridge your money over, of course, this is probably the safest DeFi bet you can make, or at least one of the safest bets. If you are a bit more flexible though, then why not simply just go over to Curve? At least that's how I currently see this. And so just in case you're wondering, should I buy now the EPS token, the Ellipsis token of that project? I am not so certain, right? This is the price development. Of course, the initial dump, maybe we just ignore that. But even then, if we zoom out a little bit, this doesn't look too great. And the reason for this decline is simply the dilution, right? The circulating supply is currently at 55%. I watched older videos on Ellipsis, not that old actually, just like half a year old or so. And at that time we were at around 40%. So the circulating supply, it is increasing quite rapidly. And thus, given that the current momentum is already bearish, that's probably why a lot of people, once they receive the EPS token through providing liquidity on the platform, they're probably going to sell this off quickly, right? Simply because this doesn't look like something that's worth holding over the long term, at least in its current state. If you enjoyed this video, please give this a like because it will help the channel grow. And of course, don't forget to subscribe because I publish videos regularly. You might also consider the premium membership. There's daily market updates, there's a private chat where you can ask me any questions, a lot of exclusive content. You can find all of this here at thebitcoinstrategy.com. And of course, we've also got a Telegram channel. That's the Bitcoin Strategy channel. Simply search for that within the Telegram app. See you next time. Bye-bye.